Good afternoon, we welcome you here again with Pavel Čermák.
Good morning.
And today we would like to talk about the difference between CBD and CBG oil. Thank you, Paja. Anyway, what is the difference between CBD cannabinoid and CBG cannabidiol?
As you already mentioned, primarily in the name itself, that's what immediately catches your ear. And then, of course, it's also about the effect it actually has on the endocannabinoid system. It is said that CBD stimulates the receptors indirectly, whereas CBG actually stimulates the endocannabinoid receptors directly.
So when should I buy CBD oil and when should I buy CBG oil?
There's not really a clear answer to that because CBG is a relatively new cannabinoid that still lacks a broader research base. What I usually recommend is pure CBG for glaucoma or cataracts, specifically for glaucoma. That's one of the few diagnoses where I recommend CBG on its own. Most of the time though, I actually recommend a combination of both because of course, thanks to the synergistic effect, the overall impact is significantly increased.
And in what cases would you recommend just CBD?
I recommend just CBD, of course, for certain psychological issues. For inflammatory problems, yes. Let's say for possible insomnia. The range is really broad, yes, including various developmental issues. I would actually say, since we're presenting this together, that I'd rather talk about what I recommend it for in combination.
And I have one last question for you, Paja, because you work at the Cannabis Counseling Center. People come to you and they discuss various questions with you regarding our products. Is there any story recently, for example, in combination, with the dosing of these oils?
Well, for example, it's not completely recent, but what really stuck in my mind is that we actually cured a lady's chronic Lyme disease with it. Yeah, I'm not saying it was just because of this, but primarily she was taking these two products, even though in lower doses. So it really helped her beautifully. And then there was actually a case of staphylococcal infection of the female organs where it was even applied locally, and it also had a strong effect there, even though of course the lady had already been treated with antibiotics for some time and the bacterial infections kept coming back and she was having ongoing problems with it. So this more or less helped her. That's what comes to mind now when I dig a bit into my memory. And then actually a recent piece of feedback was also about insomnia, where a lady was taking 2 to 3 capsules. She felt some effect, but it wasn't enough. So we added 5 to 10 drops of CBG to the capsules, and that's when she achieved the desired effect. There's still a bit that could be fine-tuned, but it was definitely clear that the combination worked much better for her.
So we've learned that Pavel actually combines the CBG oil in his practice not only with drops but also with capsules. And that also made me think about the effect. How soon, for example, should the first effects be noticeable?
That again is individual. Some people are more sensitive, so even during the first dose, some visible effects can already occur. Yeah, but then it's usually about finding the ideal dose, which is very individual, but on average, let's say about 14 days, you can expect to see the first tangible results.
Alright, thank you so much. Let me remind everyone who is watching us. If you have any questions, you can write to info@zelenazemnia.chat. We'll be happy to answer and help you choose the right product and with dosing. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome and have a wonderful day.
Take care.
Goodbye.